Everyone mentioned today is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, and everything I discuss here is theory until proven fact, even if it is.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean, and I bring it to the mad light, ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short, so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
Hey guys, how you going? Good to see you guys. We've got Deb R and Deb J, Carl, Shannon, J1, Lucette, Dealey, and Joanne. How you going, guys? Good to see you. Okay, let's get into some interesting news from X and some threads. It's going to be a bit of a short one today, so thank you for joining me. Rep James Comer said breaking the House Oversight Committee is compelling the following individuals to appear for depositions through issued subpoenas. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, October the 9th. Former President Bill Clinton, October the 14th. Former US Attorney General Merrick Garland, October the 2nd. Former FBI Director James Comey, October 7th. Now, this is from Rep James Comer, not to be confused with James Comey, okay? Former US Attorney General William Barr, August 18th. Former US Attorney General Alberto Gonzales, August 26th. Former US Attorney General Jeff Sessions, August 28th. Former FBI Director Robert Mueller, September the 2nd. Former US Attorney General Loretta Lynch, September 9th. And former US Attorney General Eric Holder, September the 30th. Can't wait to see what happens there. That's going to be interesting. Hey, when was Hillary was 411, 410, 411. Anyway, I'm not going to put much to those dates, but Interesting. Okay, I was just looking for pedestrian there. He's probably already gone. Anyway, okay, Free Speech Union of Australia. This is a thread on the e-safety Karen. Thread. FSU, Free Speech Union, has had another major victory against the e-safety commissioner. The commissioner likes to present herself as guardian of the vulnerable, yet she unsuccessfully argued to the Administrative Review Tribunal that she had no duty whatsoever towards complainants. Third legal loss for e-safety commissioner in a very odd attempt to avoid review. I can see my breath coming out. It's 3 degrees here, guys. For immediate release, 5th of August, third legal loss for e-safety commissioner in very odd attempt to avoid review. An Administrative Review Tribunal ruling has put another nail in the coffin of the informal approach used by the e-safety commissioner to try to avoid review of her decisions. The tribunal rejected her argument that she had no legal duty of any kind towards complainants, despite the e-safety regime being promoted as protecting vulnerable members of society. In Kirkham versus e-safety commissioner, FSU director Dr. Reuben Kirkham complained under the Online Safety Act 2021 that the statements published on the Council of Foreign Relations website and attributed to Commissioner Julie Inman Grant were false, damaging and targeted him personally. In refusing to issue a formal notice under Section 88, the Commissioner argued that she had no duty to give reasons to any complainant, where she decided she was satisfied material complained of was not cyber abuse, and that these decisions could not be reviewed by the tribunal. The E-Safety Commissioner's Office told Dr. Kirkham it had reviewed the material and concluded it did not meet the criteria for formal removal action. When Dr. Kirkham requested a formal statement of reasons under Section 268 of the Administrative Review Tribunal Act of 2024, the Commissioner refused, claiming no reviewable decision had been made and that what she had done instead was a non-giving of a notice. What the fuck? Anyway, the Deputy President held their case was very odd. Deputy President today, Britton Jones rejected the argument finding the Commissioner's conduct was a decision to refuse to give a removal notice within the meanings of Sections 88(1) and 220(4) of the Online Safety Act. That decision is reviewable and the Commissioner must provide a statement of reasons within 28 days. A narrow interpretation, as argued by the Commissioner, would be a very odd result at 62 and arbitrarily deny complainants the right to merits review, with the case put by the E-Safety Commissioner carrying an air of artificiality and impracticality at 54. Dr. Kirkham said many complainants to the Commissioner's Office are vulnerable individuals, including individuals subject to indecent image exposure, doxing, stalking and other severe instances of cyber abuse. The idea that the Commissioner has no obligations towards these complainants is remarkable, and today's decision shows the Commissioner's Office has once again seriously misunderstood their duties toward the general public. Worst of all, it's the taxpayer who has yet again footed the bill for the Commissioner's lack of understanding, with the senior counsel engaged at great expense to make these arguments. The FSU will publish the Commissioner's statement of reasons when received and continue to press for transparency and reform in the exercise of e-safety powers. How interesting. She's got no case. What's more, the Commissioner wasted tens of thousands of dollars of taxpayer money on defending her refusal to give a statement of reasons as required by law. Why was the Commissioner doing this? Well, the complaint was about her own cyber abuse, spreading conspiracy theories about the Free Speech Union being a front group for Elon Musk. Here's her little rant. Nathan Livingston, Milk Bar TV, this is from December 2024. Wow, the E-Safety Commissioner gives Free Speech Union of Australia and everyone that sent an FOI request through their portal a shout out. You can tell she really appreciates it. Let's have a listen.
There are front groups. One is called the Free Speech Union of Australia, and they've run a campaign to increase the number of FOIs by 3,000%. And they're very open about let's just tie them up in knots.
She wants to tie them up in, they want to tie her up in knots, or she wants to tie them. I wasn't really listening. I can't handle her. The applicant sought a community note or public comment facility to be placed on a web page that had a transcript of the Commissioner's remarks. The decision is here. Give me a look, come on. Okay, the application is under Section 270 of the Administrative Review Tribunal Act is granted, and the tribunal directs the respondent to give the applicant a statement of reasons for the reviewable decision within 28 days. And it goes on and on and on and on. Hey, anyway. If you think she should be sacked, please sign our petition here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the link and I'm going to place it in the comments for any Aussies who want to sign. Okay, just for you guys, because I've already done it. If you think she should be sacked, please sign that. Oh, this is funny. It's not going to work, man. Like, nothing they do is going to work. We already got told that from Q anyway. The only thing that is working is that they're raising the rents and, yeah, see you later. But Alexandra Marshall said, interesting that the kids are no longer out screaming and crying at the sky about climate change, nor are they shilling for BLM. It's almost like it was a performative nonsense for street cred with their classmates. Yeah, I think so, getting out of school too. Awakened Outlaw said it's when you understand that there's pretty much everything going down on the major issues is all one big thing, then everything starts to make more sense. And my son found this out. He rang me last night. He said, Mum, oh my God, I went down a rabbit hole. He said, everything you said makes sense now. Someone tied it together for him. It has to come from whatever they do, you know what I mean? Like, each individual person is going to have different things that wake them up. And my son got his last night, like fully last night. He's been waking up for a while, but this really shocked him. He was really kind of put off, you know, kind of really hit him, put it that way. In related news, this is also why so many of us aren't sweating it over all things Epstein, because we 100% believe that it's all coming out. Notably, and to my point, it's all connected directly or indirectly through many of the same players involved in all the criminality, seditious conspiracy, and treason being revealed to the public. In my honest opinion, there will be no criminality left on the proverbial table simply because there can't be. Revealing all of this crazy bad information to the public and then not do anything about it, that makes zero logical sense. The collateral damage that it would predictably cause by not following through would be insurmountable to repair moving forward. So they can't do it. They have to. It would make a complete mockery of the rule of law, the very foundation of our republic. Hell, the recent appointment of both special counsel to look into Jack Smith and AG Pam Bondi finally referring Russiagate to a grand jury supports as much. I'm personally more than willing to watch this play out and feel like the best thing I can do is support Trump and those in his administration. There'll be no panicking going on over here. No, I agree with this, and I've said it before. Epstein's not the biggest thing, right? I know it has been put forward as the biggest thing, even I'm guilty of that, but he's not. But it will all come to the people that associated with him through other means. They will get caught. They will get locked up. Okay, George Christensen, here's another thread. The Davos downfall. Klaus Schwab, architect of the Great Reset, has been exposed. Millions spent, reports rigged, staffed abused, but he wasn't taken down by conspiracy theorists. He was taken down by his own people. Read this startling thread. Yes, I'm about to read it. He said you'd own nothing. Now he's lost everything. Schwab told you to own nothing, to eat bugs, to give up your car, your privacy, your gas stove, all to save the planet. But behind the scenes, how do you say that? Moet? Okay, whatever it is, that drink, 14 massages, first-class flights, $50 million villas, all paid for by you in one way or another. Last month, a leaked internal WEF report confirmed Schwab's abuses. 1.1 million in shady expenses, trips to Venice, can't even say that one, Miami and Morocco, Seychelles, forum-funded chauffeur on private holidays, 14 in-room massages, $50 million Geneva estate equals personal playground. Nationfirst.com.au report on most of this back in April this year. Back then it was all just allegations. The WEF leaked report says those allegations against Klaus are substantiated, but it gets worse. And that was the first one. Okay, and I think I read this one. Let's have a look through it anyway. The thread, The Fall of Schwab. Why was Klaus Schwab, the godfather of globalism, pushed out of the World Economic Forum after 55 years in charge? His own staff blew the whistle. And, okay, I think we're going to go over it anyway in this. I can always bookmark this. Okay, yep, next one. Schwab rigged the forum's global competitiveness report. He told staff the UK must not see any improvement. Why? Because pro-Brexit voices might use it as proof Britain didn't collapse. He literally cooked the books to attack democracy. He also protected his friends. Modi's India was about to drop 20 plus places, so Schwab ordered the rankings changed to protect the relationship. In 2022, one country's score looked bad, so he killed the entire report. This wasn't research, it was propaganda. Then there's the culture inside the WEF. Pregnant women sidelined, older women pushed out, late night emails to young female staff. Do you feel that I'm thinking of you? What? One staffer said he put his crotch in her face. Another, he ran it like a fiefdom, however you want to pronounce it. I just can't stop thinking of, one staffer said he put his crotch in her face. I can't stop thinking about him on the beach. Do you remember that, Klaus Schwab on the beach? Hang on, let me have a look. I've got to show you again. This one, I can't stop thinking about it. Like, when I see anything about Klaus Schwab, right? See if we can make it bigger. Oh, what is this? Okay, this is a video. No, I don't want that. Okay. This picture here is apparently fake, right? Apparently. But it looks very much like him. Anyway, could be fake, but, you know. This one, with the little thing around his dingleberry and some suspenders, and I don't even know what the rest of that is. With a nice hat with a veil on it and some lace gloves. I can't stop thinking about that, especially when one staffer said he put his crotch in her face. Okay, WF employees were so broken they formed a private group. Refugees. To cope with the abuse, hypocrisy and intimidation under Schwab. This is the man who claimed to be a father figure. This is Davos. Not in the leaked report of the Davos parties. Oh yes, the world's moral leaders live it up. Escorts flown into Davos, sex workers made to sign NDAs, $1,500 champagne, private helicopters and limos, caviar and foie gras, served while they lecture you on climate. When they came for him, Schwab raged. He tried to stop the investigation. He demanded it be dropped within 24 hours. They refused. He filed criminal charges against the whistleblowers, says he feels betrayed. The man who built the WEF is being destroyed by it. What went wrong? Simple. He failed to deliver the Great Reset. The same elites who tolerated his corruption for decades are now throwing him under the bus because he's no longer useful. Expect more leaks, expect more revelations, expect a quiet Epstein-style exit. This is bigger than Schwab. The WEF board includes Al Gore, Larry Fink, Queen Rania, Christine Lagarde, Yo-Yo Ma. Yes, seriously. They knew, they protected him, they turned on him because the whole project is collapsing. Now the media will spin. They'll cry one bad apple. They'll promise reform, but don't fall for it. The WEF isn't one man. It's a machine. a technocratic cartel, and now it's consuming itself. We must demand no more politicians at Davos, no more taxpayer dollars for the WEF, no more tolerance for unelected elites dictating our lives. The globalist regime is failing. Let it burn. You will own nothing and be happy, they said. Well, now Klaus Schwab has nothing, and he's far from happy. If you like this thread, you can follow George Christensen on X. Share this thread, comment, let it burn, follow me on X, subscribe, bookmark this because history's unfolding. We were right and the world is finally catching up. Way to go, mate. And I've got a cat at the back door scratching to get in. He's actually banging, knocking on the door. Okay, Tim said Trump just slapped Canada with 35% tariffs overnight. If they dodge them, another 40% fine. Meanwhile, Mexico got 90 days to negotiate tariffs with Trump. Canada got 0. Here's the reason behind the brutal difference. It's genius. On July 31st, Trump made 2 shocking announcements. Mexico received a 90-day extension to avoid 25% tariffs. Canada gets hit with 35% tariffs, no negotiation, no grace period. Why the dramatic difference? Months of broken trust. Trump's team had been negotiating with Canada since spring. Multiple missed deadlines, foul promises, and Trump declared it would be very hard to make a deal with Canada. But Mexico? Now it gets interesting. Let's have a listen to what he's saying here.
What's the hold-up with the negotiations with Canada?
Well, they have to pay a fair rate. That's all. It's very simple. They have been charging very, very high tariffs to our farmers, some over 200%. And they've been treating our farmers very badly. They've been treating our country very badly for years. And look, we like Canada. I love Canada. I have so many friends in Canada. But they've been very poorly led. They've been very, very poorly led. And all we want is fairness for our country. That's all. You know, they want to be under the, as we call it, the Golden Dome. And I said, well, you know, you're going to have to pay for that. They want a lot of things from our country, and for years we did it. We basically protect them with our military. They spend very little money on their military, as you know. Not an acceptable amount of money. Yeah, please.
And that sounds like Australia as well. Just before the tariff deadline, Trump had a direct call with Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum. The White House called it productive. Mexico showed willingness to address US concerns. They got rewarded with time. But Canada went in guns blazing. Hang on, I've got to adjust the volume in case this one's much louder than the last one. Okay, can't understand, so won't play it. Canada had imposed $155 billion in retaliatory tariffs against the US. They targeted politically sensitive exports, bourbon, Harley-Davidson motorcycles and agricultural products. Instead of negotiating, they escalated. Trump's response was swift. By denying Canada any grace period, Trump sent a clear message to the world. Compliance gets you time, defiance gets you punishment. You're seeing how the new America deals with allies, but this was Trump's genius move. The leverage dynamics made it possible. Canada exports 75% of its goods to the US. Mexico has balanced trade relationships. When you're that dependent on one customer, threatening retaliation becomes meaningless. But there are 3 main reasons Trump destroyed Canada. First, the fentanyl crisis. Seizures at the Canadian border had more than doubled since 2023. Canada was becoming a major transit point for deadly drugs entering America, and it doesn't stop there. Canadian ports were entry points for precursor chemicals from Asia. These got processed in clandestine labs, then smuggled south. Despite repeated US requests for action, Canadian enforcement remained weak. And secondly, funnily how I know how to say that, trade cheating. Canada held dairy quotas that blocked US farmers. They introduced digital taxes targeting American tech giants. Can you see why Trump did what he had to do now? Third, the alliance breakdown. Trump's team argued Canada wasn't acting like a real ally. The retaliatory tariffs, public opposition and negotiation tactics crossed red lines. The relationship had turned from partnership to adversarial. Hang on one sec, guys. Here's the business lesson. Position determines everything. Mexico maintained dialogue and flexibility. They got 90 days. Canada tried to play hardball without leverage. They got immediate punishment. The lesson? Build trust with your important connections, prospects, customers, investors. If you don't, you'll end up like Canada, out of options and screwed over. The easiest way to build lifelong trust? Invest in your personal brand, showcase authenticity, and share real insights. Give prospects a reason to trust you. Don't just be another faceless corporation. Then you'll see something incredible happen. Marketing, sales, attracting talent all become 10 times easier when you have unlimited opportunities with prospects who trust you. In the digital age, this is the ultimate competitive advantage. The best part? You can get ahead today. Founders, we'll build your personal company brand on X and beyond without you lifting a finger. To date, we've already helped 140 plus founders to get 3+ billion combined views. Interested in how we can do this for you? Book your free discovery call here. What? That sounds like a freaking ad. Probably is. Thanks for reading a bit about me. 2 years ago, I co-founded Thought Leader X, a premium personal branding agency for world-class founders, executives, and investors looking to dominate socials. If you enjoyed this, hit follow for more breakdowns. I don't know about that. But anyway, if you like this thread, you can follow Tim Thought Leader, okay, X, on X. But I have a feeling Australia is going to go the same way. We're going to get hit with massive tariffs because our government are morons. Scott Bessent's interview is going viral. This is not about tariffs. It's about why your wages could explode and the $1 trillion secret hiding in plain sight on Wall Street. Here's another one from NASTech AI, okay? Everyone should read this. Let's start it. Let's break it down. The numbers are staggering. Household income growth hit 0.7 to 0.8% in April alone. Real wages for hourly workers rose almost 2% in just 5 months. Percent dropped this bombshell. No president's done that before, but here's where it gets interesting. Blue-collar wage growth is at its highest level since Trump's first term. Under Biden, it plummeted. Now it's back up in just a few months. The reason is simple. Bessent revealed the hidden mechanism behind exploding wages. It's not about minimum wage laws or government mandates. It's about strategic displacement of cheap labour. 12 or 20 million illegal aliens coming out of the workforce creates massive wage pressure upward. The manufacturing revolution is here. Only 9% of Americans work in manufacturing. But here's what they don't tell you. Manufacturing jobs deliver much stronger wage growth than the service economy. Trump is rebuilding America's industrial base by design. The negotiation strategy is working brilliantly. 75 plus nations are bringing their best offers to Treasury. When Trump threatened 50% EU tariffs, European leaders called within hours. Tariffs aren't just revenue, they're leverage that gets results. Here's the secret Wall Street doesn't want you to know. For decades, they've had a great run while Main Street struggled. Bessent's mission, now it's Main Street's turn to also participate. The policy shift is already working. The economic data proves it. CPI 0.1%, best since 2020. PPI 0.1%, best since 2021. Recession predictions, dead wrong. Reality, economy is very strong. But there's a deeper story here. Bessent's opened up about his backstory. His father went broke twice. Young Scott got his first job at age 9 putting out beach umbrellas and bussing tables. That's why I'm so focused on the debt here and having responsible finances. This isn't just policy, it's personal vendetta against financial recklessness. We're not going to make the same mistakes my family did. He's treating America's economy like he wished someone had treated his family finances. The Wall Street versus Main Street war is real. For years, coastal elites thrived while middle America got hollowed out. Bessent's solution, bring back strategic industries, steel, semiconductors, pharmaceuticals. We've got to bring them back home. Hamilton's original tariff strategy had two purposes: finance the Treasury and protect nascent industries. Trump added the third leg, negotiation leverage. This is economic warfare disguised as trade policy, and it's working. The results speak for themselves. Manufacturing emphasis plus immigration control plus tariff leverage equals exploding wages. It's not magic, it's applied economics. And workers are seeing the benefits in real time. That is the economic revolution hiding in plain sight. While media focuses on political drama, actual policy is reshaping American prosperity. Your wages aren't rising by accident, they're rising by design. And if you like this thread, you can follow Nasdaq AI on X. She appreciates the support if it's a she. Okay, interesting. I want to repost all these. And Svetlana Lokova said Durham testified that Stephen Halper lied to the FBI in coordination with Christopher Steele to get the Pfizer on the Trump campaign. Yet Halper was not prosecuted despite the amount of evidence against him that made it into the Durham report in the annex. Who stopped the prosecution? Interesting. Let's have a listen to this.
Steele report was that Carter Page allegedly had met with 2 sanctioned Russians when he was in Moscow in July. We were able to establish that that was not the truth. I mean, you look at the evidence that that's not true, and the FBI should have been able to detect that, and they didn't detect it. But that was a meeting that supposedly occurred in July of 2016, or meetings, one of them with Mr. Sechin. And later, when the FBI had opened Crossfire Hurricane, and in December of 2016, CHS-1 met with Mr. Page, again, recorded a conversation with Mr. Page, and he, several days later, told his handling agent that, I forgot to tell you that Page said that on Page's most recent trip to Russia, where he worked or had business interests, he met with Sechin. And the FBI, when you look at the communications in the FBI, they're saying that, that sounds kind of screwy here, but we should look at that. They apparently never looked at that. We went and got the recording of that conversation that had occurred between CHS-1 and Mr. Page in December of 2016. And Page never said that he had met with Sechin on his most recent visit.
Mr. Chairman,
Interesting. So the FBI never even read it. Okay, Johnny Magus said 200 Cubans, Haitians and Nicaraguans fired from an Iowa food processing plant after their visas were revoked, clearing the way for American citizens to fill the spots. Another massive win for the Trump administration. Mate, I'd be in there in 2 seconds, honestly. In a food processing plant, great place to work. In a, there's a lot of like manufacturing jobs that are actually really great places to work. Okay, Betty Johnson said, breaking, the state of Indiana is now joining forces with the Trump administration to target and remove criminal aliens. There's another one. Ann Vandersteel said, since we all saw Mitch McConnell freeze up at the press conference twice in 2023, and we all saw him take a fall in 2024, and we all saw him fall down the Senate stairs just 6 months ago, how is he still being allowed to sabotage the Trump agenda when he's basically just a walking vegetable who's unable to come to work most days? It's interesting, isn't it? The Democrats will throw anyone out there. Even if they are a walking vegetable. Look at Joe Biden, my God. The potato. It's like the potato could do a better job than Joe Biden did. Anyway, I'm going to repost that one. American has far... I like saying that, sorry. US Army soldier calls for people to overthrow the Trump administration. Should he be discharged? What? That is crazy. He's obviously got something to hide, or he's working for someone. Let's have a listen.
I have a message for the American people. Last December, I encouraged you to give this new administration a chance. Time is up. Our government is compromised. Tyrants get promoted and patriots get punished. I am very concerned that we are on the brink of losing our constitutional republic to tyranny. We came extremely close during COVID, and it seems to me like everyone has already forgotten that it even happened. There has been no rectification and absolutely no accountability. The only way that I see we the people taking back our country is a ground-up revolution. We must abandon the America First movement as well as both political parties. I am calling for the God First, Liberty Second movement to be born in the United States of America. This will take at least 8 to 12 years to accomplish. We must first take municipal seats, then county seats, then state seats, and then we will take back our federal government. If the spirit of patriotism burns within you, you are called to the work. For many are called, but few are chosen. We need those who otherwise never would have gotten involved in politics to step up and serve. What would your qualifications be? I can't say.
What do you think Trump's been calling for all this time? Get into your local offices. Hello, the 8 to whatever 12 years that you want to wait for this to start, Trump's already doing. You need patience, mate. Patience.
But I can share what the Lord personally impressed upon me to qualify for me to participate in his work, and maybe it will guide you in seeking your calling. Number 1, you must keep yourself above reproach. If you have any vices, you must abandon them. Pornography, any sexual sin, any addiction, unrighteous anger, and pride were a few that were impressed upon me. The enemy of all freedom will use anything you do against you, so only do good. 2, you must prioritize your health and fitness. If you do not have a strong tabernacle to house your spirit, your emotions...
My God, he's just saying everything that Q and Trump said in the first place. Hello?
...and your mental health, you will struggle to overcome the attacks that surely will come. Number 3, you must trust in God with all your heart. There will be hard times ahead in this movement. If you do not have faith, you will not endure.
Hey, hello. If you do not have faith, you will not endure. Hello? Patience, mate, patience. Doesn't God teach patience?
Number 4, you must be willing to sacrifice everything. Your life may even be taken. Personally, I am all in. I am currently running for mayor in the city of Eagle Mountain, Utah, where I reside. My primary election is taking place soon. If I fail to prevail, in 2 years I will run for city council, and then in 4 more years I will run for mayor again. I am calling on patriots and freedom fighters everywhere to join this movement. You are called. It's up to you what you do to be chosen. I intend to preserve for my children what my parents' generation has failed to preserve for me. In the future for which I am fighting, my children will be able to afford a home. My children will be permitted to raise their children without the fear of the government indoctrinating them.
Okay. My God. But is he really calling for people to overthrow the Trump? He just wants to start a new party by the sound of it. Sorry, guys. Okay.
I have a message.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know if he's calling for the overthrow, but he's saying everything Trump and Q said in the first place. Get in at the local level. Start changing things. He just doesn't have the patience. He wants it done on his time. I don't know. A lot of people do. But we have to wait. You have to have patience. Mays said January 17th, 2017, Putin is asked about the Trump-Russia Steele dossier. Putin said, people who push these kind of hoaxes are worse than prostitutes and have no moral limitations. He was talking about people like Comey, Brennan, Hillary, Obama. He was right. Okay, I'll see if I can read what he's saying. The spread of false stories is an obvious hoax. Trump, when he came to Moscow, and I can't even remember when that was, several years ago, he wasn't any sort of political figure. We didn't even know about his political ambitions. He was just a businessman, one of America's rich people. Someone thinks that our special service chase every American billionaire? Of course not. That's total nonsense. Trump arrived and straight away rushed to meet with Moscow prostitutes. That is an adult man, first of all, and apart from that, is a man who, for many years, took part in organising beauty contests. He has socialised with the most beautiful women in the world. I find it difficult to believe he ran to a hotel to meet prostitutes who they say peed on him who they say wanted them to pee on. Get real. That's more like what Adam Schiff or someone would do. With our girls of reduced social responsibility. Although here also we have the best ones in the world. Oh no. What are you talking about? Prostitutes or models? People who order hoaxes of that kind are now spread against. The US President-elect who fake them and use them in political struggle are worse than prostitutes. They have no moral limitations. Okay? And have I read this one? No. Nick Sautor said breaking the Trump DOJ has announced a grand jury in the Russia collusion hoax. This is massive. Bondi has directed a federal prosecutor to bring the evidence given to them by Tulsi Gabbard to a grand jury for potential indictments, which we know are happening, subpoenas. Some sources are mentioning James Clapper and John Brennan could be the first to be charged. And Sadie said, remember President Trump's going to send all women to be handmaidens and take your rights away? Get your red capes ready, ladies. These 4 strong women, all in top positions in the Trump administration. The lunacy of the left. Oh yeah, real handmaiden's tale. He's got a lot of women up there, but these women are actually qualified. Good at what they do. Not just a DEI hire. And they just happen to look good too. Okay, Melinda Richards said, I'm with you, Batman. I'm expecting it. Batman said, if it comes to it that we have to log on to use even Google or YouTube each day, I'll be deleting my internet. Yes, I can go back to 1995 very, very easily. I'm saying that for myself as well. I could go back to no more internet and just enjoying life. But I'm here for the fight, so there you go. Alexandra Marshall said, I've long suspected the youth like communism, Marxism, socialism because they're frightened of adulthood and yearn for a government parent to tell them what to do. Oh, I'll empower you is the rallying call of evil. Yeah, and the road to hell is paved with good intentions like, we're protecting the children by censoring everybody. Okay, and this one, the hypocrite. Francie Nancy says, Australian censorship Karen Julian Mann Grant wants to ban YouTube for under 16s, even though eSafety themselves was posting educational videos aimed at children on the platform. You can't make this up. And what happened to YouTube Kids? What's that for? What exactly is YouTube Kids for? I really want to know. But anyway, Craig Kelly, Foundation of Economic whatever it is, there are 2 options Australians have. Submit to eSafety Karen's orders and meekly surrender your freedoms, or get out and protest. It's a national character test. Does Australia still possess a fighting spirit, or have we turned into a weak nanny state? Now, when is this? Show me that. Show me where that was. Okay. 1 p.m. Saturday 13th at Pyrmont Bay Park. Okay, opposite Star City Casino in Sydney. I think it'll fail anyway. But anyway, it's good to show your support. Okay, YNWA 2.0 said censorship is something to be proud of. New depths of insanity in Australia. I used to think, yeah, things are bad, but at least we're not Canada. Turns out we've overtaken them. Hang on a sec, guys. We're now the undisputed world champions in wokeness, virtue signalling and state-sanctioned censorship. Worst in the Western world and proud of it. Let's have a listen to, oh my God, do we have to?
Australia's about to lead the world. We're about to, I think, have a reason to be proud. In the December of this year, under 16-year-olds aren't going to be allowed to be on social media. And in fact, today, YouTube is highly likely to also not be allowed by under 16s. This is a good thing. It's a good thing. And what's going on here with TikTok, of course, is they're trying to sort of build up some goodwill with regard to who and what they are. And I would imagine that part of the build-up of goodwill is designed to be communicated to government.
Sorry, I realised I was just muted. When they say it's a good thing, run the other way.
I don't think it's going to change the government's point of view. They are also trying to, I suppose, get the public just to like them as a brand. But the very idea that this sort of, benevolent digital dictator in the sky is teaching my son how to play the guitar and, fish and read, it's just utter trite. It's nonsense.
When my parents banned me from MSN when I was 15, I worked out how to download a lookalike thing so the computer looked the same, and I had it hiding in the background.
Yeah.
Yes, I believe that
but
we
that
need
was good.
some
You
level.
got taught good skills to get around.
Exactly.
Being inventive. Yeah. You probably learnt it on YouTube.
Exactly. I've learned a lot of stuff on YouTube. You want to fix your iPhone or your Samsung phone, we want to replace the whole bloody screen that's just gone black. You can learn that off YouTube. You can order it off eBay. I learned how to get a dent out of a car. I've learned a lot of stuff off YouTube, man. You want to know how to do something? Look it up on YouTube and just be, use your discernment. Don't do something that's going to be a danger to yourself. And you can normally tell which ones are good and which ones aren't, Okay. The Vigilant Fox said 4 decades the US government used your tax dollars to fund childhood obesity, diabetes and disease. Today that ends. 6 more states just cut junk food from SNAP, ending taxpayer-funded poison for kids. But nothing could prepare Big Food for what RFK Jr. revealed next. A movie says will begin to change America almost immediately. Here's another thread. This is the beginning of the Maha food revolution. Don't forget to bookmark this. See, I've already got it. Yep, let's break it down, roll the clips. This is a paradigm shift. The SNAP program, America's primary food assistance initiative, has quietly bankrolled Big Food's worst offenders. Taxpayer dollars meant to help families eat were being funneled into ultra-processed snacks, sugary drinks and junk food that is directly fueling America's diabetes, obesity and chronic disease epidemics. That's now changing. At a joint press conference, Secretary Brooke Rollins announced a wave of new state waivers that will block junk food purchases through SNAP, also known as food stamps. So today I'm proud to sign 6 more waivers for Florida, West Virginia, Oklahoma, Texas and Colorado, Rollins said, standing alongside Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. This is in addition to the waivers we've already signed for Iowa, Indiana and others across the country. Under federal law, SNAP typically prohibits states from restricting what recipients can buy. But under the Maha initiative, states can now apply for waivers to opt out of that default. That gives them the power to finally say no to soda, candy and processed garbage being paid for with taxpayer money. These SNAP waivers are just one piece of the Maha effort, Rollins explained. Together we are crafting sensible dietary guidelines for Americans. And just like that, what used to be untouchable, SNAP's wide-open junk food allowance, is now cracking. Then came the mic drop from Secretary Kennedy. In plain terms, he laid out just how out of control SNAP spending has become and who's paying for the fallout. It was a nuke. We're spending $405 million a day on SNAP. Whoa, he said. About 10% is going to sugary drinks. If you add candies to that, it's about 13 to 17%. That means every day over $40 million in taxpayer money is going to soda and sweets, often for children, under the guise of nutrition assistance. Kennedy was blunt. This isn't about banning soda, it's about ending government-funded harm. If you want to buy a sugary soda, you ought to be able to do that, but the US taxpayer should not have to pay for it, he said. The US taxpayer should not be paying to feed kids with foods that are going to give them diabetes. He pointed out the double burden. We're not just subsidising the poison, we're also paying to treat the damage. My agency ends up through Medicaid and Medicare paying those injuries, he said. We're going to put an end to that, and we're doing it step by step, state by state. This was the moment that Kennedy then pivoted to something even bigger. The food rules that guide everything from school lunches to military meals. He revealed that the Biden-era dietary guidelines, clocking in at 453 pages, were not only incomprehensible but riddled with industry influence. They were driven by the same commercial impulses that put Fruit Loops at the top of the food pyramid and they were incomprehensible, he said. Now a new set of Maha-driven guidelines is on the way, and unlike past versions written to appease lobbyists, Kennedy says these will be short, clear and honest. This was a massive shot across the bow to big food. I'm also working with Secretary Rollins on the dietary guidelines, which should come out next month, he said. Coming out, I think, at the end of September, 3 months ahead of schedule. We're going to release dietary guidelines that are about 4, 5 or 6 pages long, that are understandable, that are simple and will allow people to make good choices about their food. The change won't stop at brochures. Kennedy said the new guidelines will reshape institutional meals across America. They will drive changes in the school lunch program and prison lunches and military food, and they'll begin to change America almost immediately. It was historic. But fixing what Americans eat isn't just about removing junk. It also comes with the task of making real food available, and that starts on the farm. Kennedy stressed that no food policy will succeed without farmers on board. That's why he said Maha is working directly with people who grow the nation's food. We need to keep farmers as partners in the Maha movement if we're going to have nutrient-dense food, he said. Rather than handing down rules from Washington, Kennedy's team has been doing the work, meeting with over 130 farmers across the country to understand their needs, challenges and solutions. We've had over 130 meetings with farmers to understand their concerns and to learn from them and to understand how we can help them transition towards more and more nutrient-dense food. Kennedy made it clear the future of American health begins in the soil. Then came the final speaker, FDA Commissioner Dr. Marty Makary, and he didn't sugarcoat it, no pun intended. This is a historic day in the United States, he said. This begins the end of the government's subsidisation of our obesity, diabetes, insulin resistance epidemic. He laid out the grim reality. American children are sicker than ever. Look at where we are today. 40% of our nation's kids now have a diagnosed chronic disease. 31% have diabetes, pre-diabetes or insulin resistance. For too long, he said, we're focused on treatment costs like insulin without asking the deeper question, why are kids so sick in the first place? And that's what we want. To get it before it even starts, mate. We can't keep just talking about the price of insulin. We also have to talk about what we're feeding children, he said. We need amazing treatments, and this FDA is committed to delivering cures and meaningful treatments. But we have to talk about nutrients and fibre, not just Ozempic and other medications to medicate our nation. We're medicating our nation's kids at scale. Makary credited Kennedy's long-time advocacy for pushing the shift from treatment to prevention. You got me motivated, he said, turning to Kennedy. It's just amazing to work with in your leadership here. Then he closed with the moment everyone in the room could feel. For the first time ever, not just talking about how to fund our broken healthcare system, but how to fix our broken healthcare system by finally getting at the root issue. And that is the health of the population, starting with children. These were the words of someone committed to a revolution. In somewhat of an epilogue to the historic announcements, a reporter asked Secretary Kennedy whether he plans to push even more Maha initiatives through the administration. Kennedy didn't blink. He said President Trump is all in on Maha and holding him accountable at every step of the way. I mean, we have full support from the president, Kennedy said. He wants this done. He promised to make America healthy again, and he's going to do that. Then with a grin, he shared how closely Trump is following the mission. He called me last night. He calls me 4 times a week and says, where are you? Why aren't people healthier yet? He's keeping me under pressure. Wow, special thanks to Overton News for helping me put this thread together. If you're into truth-seeking news, accounts like mine, they're definitely worth a follow. So Overton News and the Vigilant Fox, you can follow them on X. And that is amazing. I am so... You know, a lot of people just need to know what to eat too. And have the, like, as I've said before, a lot of the nutrients that our food used to have in it in our grandparents' day is no longer because of mass farming and then having to use the same land to keep growing food in. The nutrients get leached out of the ground. That's what the plants use to grow. Okay, I studied horticulture. I know some of it, right? And I know that plants take nutrients out of the soil. You have to replace the nutrients. And GMO's even worse. And yes, I've already read that one. And that one. There you go. That's the news for today. About 54 minutes. There you go. Now we'll go to the comments section. And thanks, guys, for staying with me. It sure is interesting, I'll tell you. Okay, Shannon was number 1. I don't know. I can't see the crowns here, but I can see them on the Streamlabs comment section. So maybe it's just turned off for me, is it? Okay, anyway, yeah, stupid crown game. I know. I don't know why they did that. Like, there's no reason to do it. It's not helping anyone. I don't think, anyway. One sec, guys. Do the crowns help you at all? Okay, everyone's saying hello to everyone up here. Lucette said, hi, everyone. I might not stay for the whole show because I'm shattered. It's midnight. Have a good night's sleep, Lucette. I understand. And I hope Alex is all right. We haven't seen her for a while. Shannon was number 1. He will quit while he's ahead, yet he turned into number 2. And J1 got here. How you going, J1? We've got Dealey and Deb. 2 Debs, Shannon, Dealey, Carl, Joanne, and Shannon said, nobody's honeycomby. Deb J said they won't show up. Well, if they don't show up, do they get arrested? Shannon said, Rig, you cheated with your wench. Oh, well. Deb said, you are not in the tent already? No, it's going to take me like a month or 2 to get there. I'm going to have to, have a big garage sale, which is going to turn into a everything must go sale in my house. Shanna said, rage quit, lol. Yeah, I'll be streaming from the tent eventually, okay? I will. I have to try and stay here for another month or so. Yeah, it's just not sustainable, long term. Next time I get a bill, it'll be the same again. And I'm not going to rely on anyone else to help me. I have to be able to help myself. And when I can't help myself, then I've got a problem. You know what I mean? So, Dealey said, shall we play a game of crowns? Dealey said, I still don't understand the crowns. Neither do I. I don't know what it... Does it make you comment more? I don't know. Deb said, I don't have X. I wonder if I'll be able to sign. Yeah, just click on the link that I posted and then click the link in that. And it should take you to, I don't know, if someone can try it, that'd be great so we know. That should take you to the page that you can sign that. Hey, George, how you going? Good to see ya. MRH, good to see you. Michelle Epp, good to see you. George said, please don't have lol. Yeah. Deb said, it's not fake. Oh, yeah, that Klaus Schwab on the beach. Yeah, I just can't help but any time he's mentioned Klaus Schwab, I can't help thinking of this. Okay, I don't know. I just can't help it. Even if it is fake, I can't help thinking of it. Oops, wrong one. Yeah. Deb said it was acceptable before him in his bikini. Lady Stardust, how you going? EPA released a multi-page document that CO2 greens the planet. Yes, Lady Stardust. I believe Trump was talking about that the other day when he was saying these climate idiots have no idea. You learn that in high school, in science. If you didn't learn it in high school in science, were you listening? I don't know. I learnt that plants take in CO2 and give oxygen. Yeah, and it helps plants. So I learnt that in high school. Deb said, we've been waking up. Dealey said, yo, is that the 7-foot-tall basketball player? I don't know. George said everything on the planet would die without CO2. Yes, it would. Deb said no more red colour because there will be no bugs. George said Trump is a true leader, not like the scumbag we have in Starmer. I know, I wish we had Trump in Australia. I wish our bloody stupid Prime Minister would go and meet Trump, but he won't because he's too chicken. He knows he's doing everything wrong. And if you can hit the like button, guys, that'd be great. Thank you. I appreciate that. Robert said, when did JD Vance grow as tall as Trump? I don't know, Robert. How you going, Robert, anyway? Deb said, I was just about to say, just like Australia, Canada, no investment in military. Yeah, and we expect the US to look after us. So, you know, that's really, I don't know, very one-sided. Robert said, hola, amigos. How you going, Robert? Deb J said, I heard that Stardust, but we've known that for years. Yeah, exactly. God love you, Deb. Deb said, yes, my twin is number 2. Hey, Del, how you going? Hi, good people. Hi, Hev. G'day from London in chaos. Yeah, I think London and Australia are holding hands going down at the same time. Deb said, thank you for lurking where possible. Please give Hev a thumbs up, even if even a thumbs down helps with traffic if you like. I don't care. You can do thumbs down if you want. It's all interaction. Del said, Dealey, good evening as always. A pleasure. Robert said, hard times create strong men create easy life creates weak men create hard times, and here we are. Yes, exactly. And we have the weakest of weak in charge. Everyone's saying hello to each other. Del said, hope your day's been good and tomorrow's even better. Good to see you, Deb J and Deb. Deb said, I'm so blessed to have strong men in my life. Yes. Del said, George, me old China's always good to see you, man. Fills me heart with joy. We're not alone or all crackers. Yes, exactly. Deb said, was Biden falling was a comm? I believe Biden was a robot. You never know. George said, good to see you as well, Del. How are you, mate? Del said, Christmas socks had more charisma as Christmas socks. Yes. Deb said, my son had strong men to bring him up. Yep. Del said, George, are not bad, mate. Major turmoils, but all on the path. Angels on our shoulders. We shall overcome. Yes, we shall. Definitely. Oh, Del said, sorry, Christmas socks had more charisma than Biden did. Yes, they do. George said, yes, we will overcome this evil, Del. Del said, live like a Templar, chastity, poverty and celibacy, us 50-year-old white guys, all there. Yeah, I'm in there too. But I'm a female one. Deb said, the end is not for everyone. Trust in God and do not fear. Del said, look up D.H. Lawrence quotes on grandchildren. Del said, that talk makes you borderline neo-white supremacist and pushing disorder, etc. Are they listening? Always, people, watch your vocabulary, always. Del said, one, if you think DT still gets it hard. 22222. Oops. Okay, that worked. Okay, Deb said, narcissists will always accuse... Oh, whoa, hang on, I just accidentally hit the button. Accuse you of what they are doing. Del said, mind you, Anthony Quinn had a kid at 72. Wow. George said, I'll be lucky if I can get up at 79 years old. Del said, where's fucking Oprah? Oh, it'll come. It'll come. Deb said, they look like beautiful women. Del said, me too, 20th century, a breeze. Del said, that's how Hirohito and Hitler hello indoctrinates generations. Del said, 2035 pedo tube is their objective. George said, a lot of pedo stuff on YouTube, kids. Yeah, I know. It was useless. Why did they even bother? Del said, resistance is fertile. Left wafts getting beaten bloody in UK. People en masse took a 360, 20 years too freaking late. Whoop, there it goes. It jumped. I'm I'm here somewhere. Deb said, before your screen goes black. George said, my PS4 broke down and I learned how to fix it on YouTube. There you go, see? Del said, George, I say man's not got ovaries, I'm banned. Why I'm here and barely X. It's been F since COVID. Del said, eat too much, get fat, not enough money, you starve or shoplift. That's UK reality. My stomach's growling like crazy at the moment. I'm sorry if you can hear that. Deb said, GMO seeds. Shannon said, g'day, Windows. He's talking to George O'Brien. O'Brien is a Windows manufacturer or fixer, I want to say, in Australia. O'Brien. Okay, Deb said you can still buy heirloom seeds. I've got some. Maybe I can start a garden at my daughter's house for her. Deb said, hello, our Shannon is back at number 2. Hey, Pat, how you going? Shannon said, I think Alex is having laptop problem. Oh, God love her. Oh, the poor thing. I hope she's getting good sleep too. George said, the last time I see Alex was 5 days ago when she released some music on a channel. Deb said, I'm about to send Alex an email. I keep trying, like thinking during the day when she's probably asleep and it's middle of the night over there, I keep thinking I'll message her and then think, no, wait till tonight, which is her morning, and then I forget by the night time. It's crazy. I can't remember shit. Dealey said, Deb, let Alex know we miss her. Deb said, that's the bloody point, Hev. Deb said, yes, I will, Dealey. Deb said, Anthony Albanese is the worst Prime Minister. George said, I always give you a like, Hev. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. Deb said, it's bloody insane not protecting your own country. I know. It's just like, what? Why would you do that? Joanne said, have a great day, people. Go have a good one, Joanne. Yeah, thanks for coming. Deb said, there'll not be enough popcorn to go around. Deb said, car window screen. Deb said, I only have pots to plant in. Deb said, thank you. I'll check out our Alex Music channel. And with that, guys, I'm going to wrap it up for today. I hope you have a good morning, afternoon or evening, wherever you are, and I'll try to be back tomorrow. If not, I'll make a video, and there you go. Okay, have a good one, guys. Bye. Thanks, MRE. Much appreciated, guys.